raise her eyes from her lap. "See? My brain! Have you seen it?" Rosa's head snapped to the door. Juana, her dearest friend, stood panting as though she'd come running from the other side of the aisle. Chest heaving, she rested her hands on her hips, her dark brown skin glistening with sweat. She wore a soft pink gown with gold embroidery. Her black hair was pulled into a bun with a few tight curls framing her pretty face. Irritation was etched on her features. Rosa pinched her lips together to keep from smiling. Many of the girls under Doña Lucia's watch happily wore the fine dresses laid out for them, but not Juana. She hated the idea of a dozen layers of skirts around her legs. She loathed face paint, too, and yet there she was, with rouge on her cheeks. "Aren't you fetching?" Rosa teased. Juana plucked a flower from her hair and crushed it in her palm. "They tried to shove me into a gown cut so low, I might as well have been naked." Rosa grinned. "I can picture it now. You, standing there on the docks, in nothing but your heeled slippers and tiara. Oh, see, I'd catch the attention of the entire Armada. Probably even that beastly king." Juana tapped a finger against her chin. "On second thought, that wouldn't be so bad. I could tell him I've seen his future and that he's doomed to spend the rest of his days with his head up his culo." Laughter bubbled out of Rosa. Juana paced across the room and collapsed onto a chaise longue near the balcony doors. "I had to run once the servants started chattering about using magic to elongate my lashes. If Doña Lucia finds out?" "The mistress is too busy with fiesta preparations to worry over your lashes." "You and I both know that's a lie." Juana chewed on her fingernail, something she only did when her mind was caught in a spiral of worrisome thoughts. "I know better than to believe you actually care what Doña Lucia will do," Rosa said. Juana once spent several days locked in her room when she broke Doña Lucia's prized vase. Well, she didn't break it. Rosa had. But Juana took the blame. She was always doing things like that, sticking up for Rosa, shielding her, with the reasoning that she was 3 months older and therefore much stronger than Rosa ever could be. "Besides," she always said, "I hardly like you, let alone anyone else. A few days of peace and quiet will be a delight." "Tell me what you're thinking," Rosa said as she sat beside Juana. Juana met Rosa's gaze. "I've known this day would come for so long, but now that it's here and our plans are falling into place, I can't help but feel something will go terribly wrong." Rosa knew the dangers that came with running away from the Isle. She'd seen what happened to girls who tried to flee, seen them tortured by La Doña's all-female guards until their screams died in their throats, watched as they were dragged into the depths by tlanchanas as soon as they reached the turquoise waters surrounding the island. But facing Las Sirenas to evade the offering was worth the risk. Rosa's mouth opened and shut. She tried to form the proper words to make Juana understand why they had to leave. Tonight. "You don't have to say anything." Juana squeezed her hand. "You never do. Not with me. But that doesn't make me any less frightened." "I'm sorry," Rosa said. And she was. She was sorry for everything they were made to endure. Sorry Majestics' power was coveted and hated. Sorry their worth was measured by their tithe. How much someone was willing to pay the church for a Majestic's services. It hadn't always been this way. Only a century ago, Majestics lived freely within the island kingdom. They'd healed the ill, calmed the seas, called down rain from the skies to help farmers produce bountiful harvests. But when the former monarch, King Sebastian's great-great-grandfather, learned he could weaken a Majestic's power with iron on their skin, everything changed. He rounded them up and carted them to his